Hey, a quick one. This a story in football that still echoes far beyond the pitch. The story of Andrés Escobar, a calm, intelligent defender, a man known not for aggression but for grace. They called him the gentleman of football. He wasn't just respected for how he played, but for how he thought. Andreas, I can say he was reflective, articulate, a footballer who understood that the game was bigger than 90 minutes. In 1994, his country walked into the 1994 FIFA World Cup, carrying the weight of belief. Colombia was not just playing football. They were carrying hope, pride, expectation, and then came a moment that would change everything. A cross into the box. As a defender's instinct, a stretch of leg. But what many didn't know was that Escobar had been dealing with a leg injury. He was not fully fit. His body was not at its best, but he still showed up. He trained through discomfort. He played through limitation. He carried pain that never made headlines. And sometimes strength looks like presence, not perfection. The ball deflected off his foot and rolled into his own net, an own goal. One touch, one moment, and suddenly the world had an opinion. Colombia was eliminated from the tournament. Criticism grew louder. Blame became easier than empathy. But the truth is, people see the results, but they rarely see the resistance behind it. They see the fall, but not the fatigue. They see the mistake, but not the pain someone was managing while trying not to disappoint everyone. They saw the own goal, but they didn't see the injured leg that stretched away. They saw the outcome, but not the courage it took to still be there. And yet, I can say what defines Andrés Escobar, even more deeply, is what he did after the mistake. After the tournament, instead of hiding, instead of shift blaming, instead of even protecting his image, he chose ownership. He wrote an article that was published in the Colombian newspaper called El Tiempo, not to defend himself, not to justify the mistakes, not to explain the injury he had been silently managing, but to take responsibility for the moment and to remind people that football, like life, must continue. He did not say, I was injured. He did not say it was not my fault. He did not say, understand my struggle. He simply took the weight. He wrote with clarity, with maturity. He reminded his country that a mistake does not define a life. He reminded people that anger should never replace compassion. He reminded the Colombians that dignity is not lost when you fail. It is revealed how you rise. In a world where many people disappear after failing, Andrés Escobar stepped forward. He did not pretend the moment didn't happen. He simply said, life does not end here. The journey must continue. We must move forward. He took ownership publicly while carrying the pain privately. And then tragedy followed. Just days after returning home to Medellin, Andrés Escobar decided, you know what? Let me go out. Let me take a walk one evening. A normal night. Life trying to return to normal. But normal never came. He was confronted by men who brought up their own goal. An argument followed, then gunshots broke the silence. Andrés Escobar was killed at the age of 27 years old. 7 bullets. Some reports say that the word gold was shouted mockingly as the shots were fired. A very cruel reminder of how a single moment had been turned into a life sentence by those who forgot there was a human behind the mistake. A life reduced to a moment, a human being reduced to a headline. And yet, what stays is not the goal. is the image of someone still showing up, still stretching, still trying even while hurting. It's the image of someone who refused to let a mistake remove his dignity. Someone who showed that responsibility is not weakness, it is strength. Because most people are living like that, showing up with emotional injuries nobody can see, trying their best with strength they barely have left, giving effort while quietly fighting battles that never makes the news. We live in a world that measures outcome loudly, that measures courage very quietly. And sometimes the bravest people are the ones who still step onto the field knowing that they are not fully okay. And as we head towards another World Cup, just a few months, the world will once again watch 90 minutes and form opinions in second. But life has never been only 90 minutes. Life is extra time. Life is recovery. Life is what happens after the final whistle, because a person is always more than a moment, more than a scoreline, more than one touch of football. Here is something we don't say enough. Not every mistake is a lack of effort. Sometimes it is evidence of hidden effort. Sometimes people don't fail because they didn't care. They fail because they cared while carrying something heavy. And the world will not always see your injury. It will always see your outcome. But your story is bigger than a moment. Your worth is deeper than a result. And your identity is not defined by a single misstep. And maybe the most powerful thing that Andrés Escobar showed us was not perfection, but responsibility. Responsibility without excuses. Strength without noise. Pain without performance. Because it takes strength to succeed, but it takes even greater strength to stand in front of the world and say, hey, I'm human. So if you're walking through life feeling misunderstood, if you're trying your best while not being at your best, if you're carrying something heavy without announcing it, remember this: showing up while hurting is still courage. Trying while still struggling is still strength. Continuing despite discomfort is still victory. You're not weak for struggling quietly. You're not less valuable because something didn't go perfectly. And you're not your worst moment, because life is not only about the goals we score. Sometimes it's about the courage it takes to keep playing. Even when you're hurting, even when nobody knows, even when nobody sees. This has been The Sense of Self, and today's reminder is simple: be gentle with people. You never know the injury they're playing through. Have a lovely evening. Peace.